You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 6, 2023 meeting of the LaPorte County Parks and Recreation Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
I'll call the meeting for the LaPorte County Park Board to order. Let's all go ahead and stand up and say the pledge, please. Flags over to the right. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a roll call.
Amanda? Here. Jim?
Here.
Aaron? Here. Mike?
Here.
Mary? Here. Ron?
Here.
Mary now? Here.
Okay. Did everybody get a chance to look at the agenda? There's a couple of changes on the agenda.
Yeah, I added under new business, the item 1, and I sent the spreadsheet out today about to approve the 2024 budget request to be submitted by the County Council. So if you didn't have a chance to read the email on it, there's a page in the back.
Okay.
Any changes other than that to the agenda? I have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
And second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Any issues with the minutes from last meeting?
Motion to approve.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Yeah.
Okay, financial reports. There's some changes on the finances here.
And I sent you a spreadsheet so you can see the expenditures today. I sent that. Several accounts already at zero. Like I said, we're in the new business. We're gonna go before the council and ask for some more funds for those things out of our control. But typically we do see some of these accounts going down to close to zero at this point. But this was probably one of the earliest that we hit zero in office supplies and equipment repair. That we got hit pretty hard with several older vehicles having some issues. So other than that, fairly normal. We've had pretty good revenue coming in, so we're not hurting in any way.
Can I have a motion to accept the financial report? And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's have it. Okay, Jeremy, take it away.
Okay, so status on the restrooms at Creek Ridge. I picked the permit up today finally for the septic and the building permit and then the electrical permit for the septic. So we are officially approved to move forward with the project. So Don will start getting things ordered, and I got the contractors for the septic. One was out there today looking at it, and then the other emailed me today that he hasn't forgotten about us. But yeah, we're gonna be moving forward pretty soon with that. So, yep, we actually already tore out the old vault toilet, so it's gone. The site's pretty much ready to go. So we just gotta get moving on it now that we're as Mary Nell mentioned before the meeting, had a college student approach me about a possible internship project, and if I had any ideas, and something I've been wanting to do for a long time, but it's a pretty intensive planning process and setup for it. Is a native seeds library type thing. We got these nice prairies here and Lure, and even some of our rain gardens and stuff like that. We got some really nice areas that have a lot of the native plants, and so what we're working on is a student from Taylor University that last year did our flower beds and everything here. So she's already familiar with the properties and familiar with the flowers that we have and that. is gonna come up with a native seed library program. We're gonna go down probably to Kankakee Sands and look at what they do down there. There's a volunteer day to collect seed in June here, where we can go down and actually volunteer and see what they do and how they do it. I am paying her. We're probably gonna have her on for probably about 4 weeks, 5 weeks. But yeah, I think this is gonna be something that I hope that the people really enjoy, and it might be something that could generate some revenue for either the foundation or the Parks Department as far as that goes. But I think this is something that, you know, it'll bring awareness, it'll be a great educational tool for our Parks Department and for our citizens, but also a great volunteer base too as well. So, yeah, I knew I could count on that.
So you have to learn this to be able to help or education.
Yep, so once we get that, all going, we'll promote that more and that kind of thing. Also, I went ahead and we're moving forward with the website redesign. So Sarah Group is doing that. Talked to them Friday and they're really excited. They really want to make this one of their kind of flagship websites. They're local people from, right here in LaPorte County, and hopefully going to make this something that a lot more user friendly and a lot more accessible for our staff and everything. So I think that's going to be something that's really nice. So if anybody has any input on, a website, and we start getting emails from them about, what we need or what we're thinking, and I'll keep you guys in the loop on that.
Very good. Okay, anything else in the maintenance program for the
program? I would mention that, you saw the programs, all the stuff that they put out for the summer, and I think, they're really jumping in with both feet, so I'm really happy with what they're doing. I actually told them the other day, hey, remember we got Pioneer Days coming up, so don't shoot yourself too far in. But they're both really excited and really doing some good programs. And, they got a space camp they're doing for the summer, and it's starting to get people calling, and so there's some really neat programs that they're putting up.
Okay. Standing committee reports. The executive committee does not have a report. Budget committee.
So yes, we have a big report to do. If you go to page 13, this is potential budget for 2024. Jeremy will have to go in front of the county council to talk about why he wants some of these increases. As you can see, some of the increases are in the yellow, mostly because of what has transpired this year, I would say.
Yeah, well, and inflation.
Yeah, inflation.
Yeah.
So you can see office supplies a little more, uniforms some more, fuel of course, we're all gas and diesel, equipment repair going up, training because we have a lot more new people probably that we need training, electrical, waste disposal, and safety first aid. So as you can see, that's an increase of about 12%. And as our asking
But I feel like it's reasonable. I feel like everything that you've done here is reasonable, and with the cost of everything right now, I hope that they accept this.
Yeah,
I feel that it's a reasonable request.
And we had some increases last year on propane, and I think there was, in part repair, they gave us some. I think those were the two we did last year, maybe a little bit in electric. My main one in electric was next year we do it out of grant to get 2 fully electric vehicles. So we will. Our electric is probably going to go up. Our fuel probably will go. I don't know that it's. We never have enough in fuel, so we asked for another $1,000 in fuel. So maybe that'll get us to where we need to be. When we added another employee, full-time employee, we obviously used more gas. So that's where we're at. But if we get these 2 full-time, fully electric vehicles and use one of them for doing the run-throughs on the weekend, that's a lot of miles, and that kind of thing. So I think that's going to help on that. say.
Are there any stations, EV stations in any of the parks?
So there will be. So there'll be two fleet chargers, one at Red Mill and the other at Lure. And then we'll have, with that grant, they're gonna have a public one at Red Mill. And then we actually put in for another grant in a few years that would put one here and at Creek Ridge. And my thought on that, here's my thought process on that, is that we're close to, you know, the toll road, we're close to, you know, 94, and people who are traveling and needing a place to charge, what better place to do it than a park? It's a lot better than Myers or somewhere like that. Plus, it could potentially generate a little bit of revenue for us if they come.
And for the county as well.
Yeah.
There's places that they'll stop along the way.
Yeah, so.
And with the budget, I'm sorry, but the parks have been so frugal over the years since I've been on the board. It is, you know, we're not asking for the moon, we're asking for what the needs are, so it's been very, very frugal.
Yeah, I mean, the budget, if you look at what the budget for operating is, this year it was 77,930 for these parks, you know, so to be able to do what we do for that little, I think, you know, we're asking for about a $9,000 increase. With inflation the way it is, and we haven't asked for too much over the last couple of years, so hopefully, you know, hopefully they can understand where we're coming from.
And there's a new park.
Yep.
Okay,
We have motion to,
That's on the new business, so I think that's through this good discussion.
Personnel committee. Property committee, update on the expansion.
Had a meeting today, and they came to an agreement on price, so that's a good thing. Yeah, so this DMR project is, you know, more than likely gonna happen. You know, now that both sides are on board as far as what they can pay, and, you know, I'm not having to ever, I don't think we're gonna have to ask for any kind of money for this project at all. They're even talking about a 10-year maintenance plan where we would have a budget, you know, a set fund, we can go through them to, if we have invasives come in, or if we have a big storm comes in that damages the stream or whatever, there's money set aside from the DNR to take care of those type of things. So I mean, I really think this is gonna be a win-win for us, because, you know, adding 40 acres to a park and more trail, and, you know, pretty exciting.
Very nice. Planning committee, anything? Rules committee, smoking in the county park, page 14.
This was that was an email from Breathe Easy LaPorte County that went out to their, you know, their people that are signed up to get this. So, you know, he came last meeting and talked to us about the smoking, you know, what they would love to see. Yeah, I mean, if you guys, I sent that to you, you read it, it's basically a letter saying what they would love to see and what, you know, it's up to the park board now. I will say that no matter what is decided, I think the rule is already in place. That, you know, that when I talked to the commissioners, basically the rule is, or the ordinance is, that there's no smoking on county property. So all of this is county property. So I mean, it would be hard to enforce, but that is the rule. And so that's, I mean, yeah, that's, if we're still under, yeah, we're still under. Well, I just, being that it's a rule, I think we just need to decide.
Stay in compliance with the county rule.
Yeah, and how we would handle that, you know, if we put signs up, you know, signs up at playgrounds and stuff like that, and shelters and, you know, things like that.
I think we had some suggested methods too when he came with things that we
Yeah.
thought we could do.
Yeah.
Maybe at the next meeting, we can have type of process that we'll look at.
Yeah, I can, if you want me to, I can work with Greg and come up with some kind of, ideas and see how we want to implement it, I mean, my thought was to implement it, especially around structures.
Yes.
I don't want signs all up in the woods or anything like that, but I mean, I think we could definitely have signage saying, no smoking
And there's nothing worse than going on a walk and finding cigarette butts all over the place. The trash is like going to candy wrapper. It's not as delightful.
Yeah, and there's responsible smokers out there.
Yeah, there are.
I mean, there's a lot of people who carry their butts out, but I think it's, again, I'll just work with Mark, with Greg and try to come up with some ideas on how they're going to implement it.
That's the first topic in all this as well, so sounds like we've covered that.
Yeah.
And then the next meeting we'll have some things to chat further on that and maybe see what direction we're going to be going in. New business. Approval of the 2024 budget request, which will be submitted by Jeremy to the council. Anybody have any other questions about that? I have a motion to approve the request, budget request as written.
So moved.
And a second. All in favor? Yeah. And the special request for dollars, you want to go ahead and address that, Jeremy?
Yeah, so, like I said earlier, office supplies, we ran out due to, a lot of that was due to printing. A few years ago, in-house printing went away, so that cost then came directly back to, and I think we're being more deliberate about putting out maps for people, just because I don't want people getting confused where they're at and all that kind of stuff. So I just would, and we've got a lot nicer maps than just printing what they used to print them, just on they weren't very professional. And I think what we're seeing now is a lot nicer maps. So we're spending a little more money on that, and our office supplies budget, that's what it's coming out of. So I ran out of that basically in May, because we spent, I think, 1,000 of the 2,500 in there on printing, and we still have more to print. So, and then the equipment repair, that's just, I think $1,500 was on my vehicle, we gotta keep it running until we can get these electric vehicles, And then we actually have a few more repairs, one on Don's vehicle and that we have to get done. So yeah, that's where that $2,500 is coming from for that. And then lastly, the new tractor, it's kind of our workhorse. I mean, it's the one that does all the digging when we have to put in a line or prep a concrete site or put in a restroom or whatever we're doing, and then loading trucks. So we're constantly replacing hydraulic lines, and you name it, it's time. It's a 25-year-old tractor, and we got prices, and just kind of want to try to see if they'll pay for that for us. But not having the downtime would save us a lot of headache and a lot of time getting things done.
So do we need to vote on that? Okay, can I have a motion to approve the amount and categories for budget requests, additional funding from the county?
For all three? Motion to cover all three?
Yeah. No second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Ayes have it. Public comment. Do you have any comments?
Beautiful to be here.
Thank you for being here. Board and staff comments. Any comments? Okay. Hearing no comments, can I have a motion to adjourn? And a second? All in favor? Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned. We'll see you next time on August 1st.
Where at?
No meeting?
Creek Ridge.
Creek Ridge.